Don't let anyone tell you different. The problem with the Cubs this year, offense.
You are Locked On Cubs, your daily Chicago Cubs podcast, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
You are Locked On Cubs, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. Alongside Sam Olber, I'm Matt Cozy. Sam and I are lifelong fans, taking our passion into discussion with you on all things Cubs. Thank you for being part of the show and making us your first listen today. And the best way you can help us grow the show is to listen every day, like the video, and comment anything below. Today's episode is presented by our great partners at Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, use code LOCKEDONMLB for $20 off your first purchase. Symbolized by the last 6 games, the 2024 Cubs have, I would say, the most confusing offense in team history and maybe baseball history as well. Okay. They were shut out 3 times the last 6 games. They won a 2-1 game and then scored 12 and 10 runs respectively in the other 2, including a decisive 10-4 win over the Dodgers on Monday. Let me give it to you like this, Sam. Cubs began the season 17-9. They scored 5.4 runs per game. From July 4th to September 1st, the Cubs went 32-18, also scoring 5.4 runs per game. From April 27th to July 3rd, Cubs went 22-39, scoring just 3.5 runs per game. And that's the season.
Can we give research a bonus?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I mean, that's it. It doesn't have to be a 4-hour show to figure it out.
No, and you know what? I was going to come in here and talk about what more of the, they're better on the road, but they had plenty of road games in May and June.
The home and road splits is nice to cite, but they still might win a good amount at home. So I don't know.
Doing something for your teeth to whiten them?
No, not yet. It's literally, I'm looking at the package. It's unopened. That and vitamins unopened.
Because it's a real difference.
And I shaved last night, as you can tell.
No, well, that you didn't have to tell the world that. This is really the summation of the season. I don't know what else to say. And again,
that's the show. Thank you so much for checking out this edition.
There's no measurement. There's no analytic. There's no stat for consistency. We just go, hey, look at the 162. Well, what if, hey, I don't have my phone by me. Let me ask you this. Let's just can we do some quick mental math here?
Sure.
You said last 6 games, right? So is that dating back to Tuesday against Pittsburgh?
Exactly.
So Tuesday, I have nothing in front of me, so I'm going all off memory. Tuesday against Pittsburgh was a 0.
Right.
Wednesday against Pittsburgh was a 12. So that's 12 runs. Right. Friday was a 0, so we stay at 12. Saturday was a 0, we stay at 12. Sunday was a 2.
Yep.
And so that's 14, and then Monday was a 10. So that's 24 divided by 6. So they're averaging 4 runs a game during that stretch. But guess what? If they just scored 4 or 5 runs each day, they actually have a chance to win. Now, I want to break some news to all these listeners. You can't win a baseball game if you score 0 runs. So, these average runs, and, it's great. Hey, listen. I'm happy for Michael Busch that he got out of his funk on Monday night, went 4 for 4 or for whatever it was. But guess what? That only helps us win 1 baseball game. When you go over like him and Paredes has done, and Sayas had these long stretches, it really hurts. I personally think, and I know people are tired of hearing it, and I'm going to say it again. I believe that this could be easily solved by going to get a superstar, a star player, because this offense has shown the ability to be great. They just need somebody to lift them when they're in one of their really, really cold spells. And that's not easy to find. That's why it costs a lot of money. I think continuing to shuffle and, well, maybe it'll be Shaw, and then we got Paredes for the Burrell. I think they're going to run into the same problem.
I agree with you, and I'm sketching out a radio bit, stealing a page on a '90s radio. I say until they acquire a bat like that this offseason, we camp out on a local business's roof, and until you guys sign or make a trade for this so-called impact bat, I will sleep outside. And keep in mind, baseball offseason, that's a winter offseason here in the Midwest. I will stay on a rooftop if I have to.
That caught me off guard.
Because that's what you got to do. Not the rooftop part, but you have to acquire a big bat. But don't let anyone tell you, the listener, that offense isn't the reason for the record this year, because it has the domino effect. Listen to this, Sam.
Oh, more stats.
Cubs have scored 2 or less runs
700 times.
Third of the season. 46 of the 144 games so far, the Cubs have scored 2 or less runs for a record of 4-42.
Wow.
It doesn't matter the record. Doesn't matter the record. The Dodgers are 3-27 when scoring 2 or less. It matters the volume.
The volume.
1/3 of the year, that's horrible.
So
that's
the Dodgers,
too many games.
The Dodgers have had 30 of those games, and we've had how many?
46.
They've
been shut out in 15 of those games.
I wonder how many where that stands around the rest of the league.
Right. I wonder if they lead in that number.
I don't think they lead because Seattle probably has a say.
Seattle's up
and of
there.
course the White Sox,
Miami.
But I bet you that's probably bottom 6, 7.
Easily, I would almost say.
Yeah.
61 of the 74 wins now, or when they score 4 more runs, they're 61-17 in those.
It's unbelievable.
The 22-39 stretch, though, and I know I think I was the leader in the clubhouse to keep citing that, but folks, that was the season.
Yep.
I got one more thing.
This is beautiful. I almost feel like I could leave.
They were a season high 8 games over 500 entering April 27th.
Yes.
They were a season high 9 games under 500 on July 3rd.
Yeah, well,
that's the year.
That's 22-39, 17, 8, 9. That's good math for me.
I mean, that's it.
What a beautiful day it is out here in Chicago.
Is Jed Hoyer going to zoom in on this 61-game stretch and the larger consequences, or is it going to be the same old story?
Boy, if I had the answer to that question, I probably,
not be on this show.
Yeah, I really hope there's just some thoughtful reflection with all the organization and just realizing that my issue with the game of baseball right now is that unanimously we all have just been told, hey, this number, good. I just hope that there is some thoughtful reflection about, hey, even though overall this looked good, you know what, we can't have this guy be this quiet for this long, or we can't have this offense be this quiet for this long. We have to figure out, okay, when the wind's blowing in at 25 miles an hour off the lake, even though it makes baseball sense in 2024 to swing for the fences and not bunt, because of this specific situation, we're going to change things up a little bit. We're going to be a more a la carte day-to-day operation instead of this macro over the course of 162. It's going to even out. Over the course of 162, we'll be fine. We heard that all May, and then it happened again in June. More attention to the specifics. I'm not asking you to be like me. I'm not asking you to get all excited after a win and all down after a loss. That's not sustainable. But I think the Cubs as an organization has gotten a little bit too far the other way. A little too much Carter Hawkins, a little too much Craig Counsell, where, sometimes you could be too even-keeled. Sometimes you could be too right here, and you have to have a little bit of a sense of urgency.
I was thinking about it today on my drive home, Sam. If Austin Wells on the Yankees or Kiki Hernandez on the Dodgers, they get big hits this postseason, is it because they're 2-3 win players? No. So to keep saying, oh, well, this guy's worth 2 wins and this guy's worth 3. No, you just got to be better overall. You got to have a clear number one, which those two teams do. And the factor that you always talk about, the off the field factors, the clutch gene, the different approaches and things like that.
Well, I mean, look no further than when Terry Francona walked Anthony Rizzo, who was a better baseball player at the time than Ben Zobrist, but I think all of us in Cubland wanted that to happen because Ben Zobrist is a guy that just has a knack of getting that hit. Not saying Rizzo wouldn't have, but I just felt like it was more likely that Zobrist would have because that's the type of player he was. Now, Ben Zobrist was also a really good baseball player. Most of these guys are going to have high wars and all these things because guys that tend to be really good clutch hitters also tend to be really good players. That's how that works. But like, you can make an argument. I don't think it's insane to say if I had the bases loaded, 2 outs, and I'm down a run, and I could have Shohei at the plate or Freddie Freeman in the 9th inning. Shohei Ohtani is the much better overall player, but I might take Freddie in that spot. Freddie's proven to be clutch, bat-to-ball skills, driving runs, right? There's different guys that are in different that are better in different situations, and I think the Cubs need to, A, look into that, but B, I think they have guys like that. They just need to tell them to be like that. It's okay. Nico, be that guy. Go, don't worry about, like, I always say with Nico, the Willie Mays Hayes in Major League, if you hit the ball in the air, it's 10 push-ups, 20 push-ups.
Yeah.
Line drives, ground balls.
I like that.
You're not a home run hitter. And that's those type of things, just a little bit of thinking outside the box or creative reflection. Instead of the same, hey, over the course of 162, we're going to figure this out. The numbers will be the numbers. Great.
I think there's 3 things I want to continue to beat the drum over, and if it's every show, I'm okay with it. 22 and 39. They need a star. And number 3 is reminding people that the owner said the goal was to win the division.
Yeah, I love that.
The owner said so. Not FanDuel, not Baseball Reference, not Pacoda, not Fangraphs, Tom Ricketts.
Well, and I also, I don't want to misspeak, but I almost think in that little blurb, he didn't say the goal. He said, we should win this division.
Well,
I think that was what he
said. That up still. I think we should cut that up and replay it soon.
Yeah. I now, I'm not, don't quote me on it, but I believe.
Oh, yeah, we'll take a listen.
I believe he said we should win this division. When he was addressing the players in Mesa.
Coming up next.
The Cubs did win on Monday night, and I thought PCA had a great game. And Michael Busch, like we said, came out of his funk. Cody Bellinger, a belly bomb, number 16 of the year at the Chavez Ravine against
Keegan Thompson got out of a big jam.
Thompson got out of a big jam. Did you say Thompson got out of a big jam, right?
Yes.
And then, I think that was it. Amaya had a big hit. He's kind of quietly been slumping since his hot spell. Nice to see him get a hit. Always fun to beat a great team. The Dodgers Cubs will look to take that series tonight against Yamamoto.
Coming up, if this person won a Gold Glove the last 2 years, he should definitely win it this year. Stay tuned.
This episode is brought to you by Game Time. Game Time is now an authorized ticket marketplace of Major League Baseball, which makes getting tickets even faster and easier. Prices on the Game Time app actually go down the closer it gets to the first pitch with killer last-minute deals, all-in prices, views from your seat, and their lowest price guarantee. Game Time takes the guesswork out of buying MLB tickets. The experience of searching for then buying tickets on Game Time is simple. Plus, Game Time is the only ticketing app that gives you complete peace of mind with your purchase. See the view from your seat before you buy so you know exactly what to expect when you arrive. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code LOCKEDONMLB for $20 off your first purchase. Terms do apply. Again, create an account and redeem code LOCKEDONMLB for $20 off. Download the Game Time app today. Last minute tickets, lowest price, it's guaranteed.
Cubs-Dodgers, 9:10 p.m. Wednesday. Is that Central Standard Time? You can hear every pitch of the Cubs hometown broadcast on Sirius XM by searching Cubs on the SXM app. If he and Happ won the Gold Glove each of the last 2 years, which he did, then he must be the front runner this year. Entering Tuesday's action, Happ leads all left fielders with 11 defensive runs saved and also leads in fielding percentage. Remember fielding percentage? That's still a thing, right? Happ has 1 error the entire year. Sam, I know you noted a couple catches that he made over this past weekend, and that's led me to do some homework on his defensive season. And I really think especially after last year when we were kind of puzzled why he won, it's becoming clear that he should win a third straight Gold Glove this fall.
Ian Happ has had a good season. I think that, he really struggled early in the year. And
yeah,
I think that if the Cubs were better, his season would be probably a little bit more appreciated by people like me. But they're not. A couple compliments to give to Happ. Number one, agree. His defense has been, to the eye, much better than it has been last year. Number two, he actually is adjusted at the plate. He started out the year, he was just sitting on fastball, and he wasn't getting great results. He adjusted, that word, I'm going to say it one more time, adjusted, and he saw success. And he kind of jumped into a pool of something that we've never heard it from him, but we've heard around that he was uncomfortable batting leadoff.
That's right, yeah.
And he's kind of done that consistently. And what I love about Ian Happ, and this is where people are going to roll their eyes, he's driven in 81 runs. RBIs matter to me. And he's driven
runs matter in baseball. Production,
and he's driven in 81 runs. And I would say maybe half the year he's batted leadoff, maybe a little less, but
I wonder what it's going to end up being. Probably a little over half.
A large part of the year he's batted leadoff, so he's basically been a 100-run producer. And again, another guy, probably along with Seiya, where if you had an alpha in the middle,
right?
Man, would those guys be probably a little bit more appreciated? They'd be a lot better as well.
Yeah, and you're making a lot of good points here, but yeah, for good measure, he has heated up these last month or two, and he had that spurt in July with a ton of homers. Last 30 games, he's hit 6 of them, 19 runs batted in, and he's hitting at a high clip. Last month, hitting 298. So. That was something where he would accept walks, but his average didn't look that enticing.
Right.
And even his last 30 games, it's he's passing the test on both sides of the ball. So
50 games in the leadoff spot, 3 in the 2-hole, 13 in the 3, 15 in the 4th, 45 in the 5, and then 10 in the others. So he's spent less than half in the leadoff spot.
I had a coworker ask me today if Bellinger opts in.
Yeah.
But outfield is the only place to put a better player in.
What do you do, right?
Would you trade Bellinger, Suzuki, or Happ, knowing full well that 2 of them have full no trades, and Bellinger, I'd have to read the fine print. He probably has something.
Yeah.
I got to tell you, it wouldn't be Happ that I'd trade.
Yeah, it's an interesting
It'd be one of the other 2.
Well, if you're going off no trades, it'd probably have to be Suzuki because he's the one that
can't going off no trades though.
Yeah, because he can't play the field well.
Yeah, I think it's Suzuki for me with as a runaway.
Yeah, I think Suzuki's probably the right answer there because he can't play the field, but unfortunately it's not going to happen. So
wow. Okay, well, all right.
You see him waving his no trade? I don't know
what I see anymore. I have had glasses since 5th grade.
Unless I think the Dodgers come calling. Then I think he'd consider it.
Can you imagine that?
I don't know what we would get back for him.
Do they have spots open? They might, because Teoscar might leave, and
Teoscar might leave, and they're pretty locked into Ohtani, Freeman, and Betts. But they need to get better elsewhere. They'd benefit a lot from Suzuki, but as we talked about in the trivia, the Cubs and Dodgers aren't afraid to make a trade. That's for sure.
Yeah, wow. Coming up next, a segment returns for the first time, I believe, since March. 0 to 100. Today's episode is brought to you by Prize Picks, America's #1 daily fantasy sports app with over 5 million active members. Prize Picks is the easiest and most exciting way to play daily fantasy sports. Unlike other apps on Prize Picks, it's just you and the numbers. All you do is pick more or less on 2 to 6 player stat projections and watch the winnings roll in. Get in on the daily action with your friends and become part of the Prize Picks community today. You can now win up to 100 times your money on Prize Picks with as little as 4 correct picks. You could turn $10 into $1,000. Sign up today and get $50 instantly when you play $5. You don't even need to win to receive the $50 bonus. It's guaranteed. And the experience of playing with Prize Picks is so simple and fun. Right now, there's a very much a local promotion going on that at times on Sunday, I wasn't sure was going to happen. And that's one Caleb Williams passing yard. If he gets just 1 yard.
Well, he didn't get many.
Okay, which was up in the air, literally, on Sunday. That's going to get you a win on Prize Picks. That's all 4 football weekends, automatic dubs, just if Caleb Williams throws 1 yard. And hopefully he's throwing triple digits this Sunday in Houston. Download the Prize Picks app today and use code LOCKEDONMLB for a first deposit match up to $100. That's code LOCKEDONMLB on Prize Picks for a deposit match up to $100. Prize Picks, run your game. Well, if the Cubs win on Tuesday, Sam, they would be going for a sweep. And I wanted to bring back 0 to 100 to ask you this. I know I'm throwing a little bit of, wind. Is it wind on the fire? I don't think that's the expression.
Wood on the fire.
Okay. If the Cubs win on Tuesday, 0 to 100, the percent chance we stay up and cover a possible sweep over the Dodgers.
Cubs.
First of all, this is the first time we've done this segment since Sid Luckman led the Bears to the 1943 NFL championship game, where I believe he threw 5 touchdowns. A little concerned about that first game, but hopefully,
I'm excited for all the reoccurring segments to come back this offseason.
So you're saying, what are the chances if they sweep? We do a post show?
No, what's the chances if we win? If the Cubs win Tuesday, we're here at midnight Wednesday into Thursday morning,
despite win or loss.
Yeah,
you're really making me look bad here.
No, because I support you. Just say it. Come on.
Yeah, I'd say like 40%.
They've fallen in relevancy.
Yeah, I'd say like 40%.
Yeah, it's 0.
Okay.
Okay, it's 0, folks. It's 0. If they sweep, we'll cover that on Thursday.
Well, if they sweep, I'll do a quick, because I stay up later than you. I'll do a quick 10-minute congrats on the sweep bonus.
Now, who are you giving congrats to again?
Our listeners.
Okay, fine.
Listen, if they sweep the Dodgers, I'll do 10 minutes. That would be pretty crazy. Let me break the news. It's not going to happen. Okay. And if it does, and they sweep the Dodgers and they sweep the Orioles on the road this season, then I truly deem this season just, I give up.
Thank you so much for checking out this edition of Locked On Cubs. You give us 20 to 30 minutes. We'll give you all things Cubs with a laugh or two along the way. Be sure to hit subscribe on YouTube as we make the push to 11,000 subs. Smash the like button for the algorithm and leave a 5-star review on Apple, Spotify, and everywhere you get your podcasts. All right, we'll be back Wednesday evening before the game. Okay. He's Sam Olber. I'm Matt Cozy. This is Locked On Cubs.
It's a bad take.